Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I thought y'all might be curious to see what my tiling setup looks like. We're on a job here where we have 5 or 6 flooring areas of this house to do tile on, as well as a walk-in shower, a 3x3 or a 3x4 I believe, and 2 bathroom floors, kitchen floor, entryways at 3 exterior doors, as well as a tub surround. And back full kitchen U-shaped backsplash and another backsplash in a couple of bathrooms. Anyway, this is how I like to set up on the job site. You can see a couple of the tools I'm using here. I just set up a plastic one of these lifetime tables because I like something that doesn't get water logged. I don't like to use wood and everything when I'm working around tile. I have a lot of my trowels and stuff here. It's my Schluter Ditra. We've got Kerdi trowels, all that stuff. That's another quick little tip. If you're into tile very much, you need to look up the Schluter classes when they start them back up after this Corona stuff is over. They offer some amazing classes. They're free, and you have a level 1 and a level 2. Really, with level 2, you probably want to go multiple times. It's that good. You need to go to be able to experience all the different workstations they have at those, and you can only really do one each time. So they build custom sinks, showers, vanities, everything. But for some reason, I just really am handier with one of these than one of these for putting mud on the wall. So I like to have my little drywall tools, my level 5 stainless, for putting stuff on the Kerdi or the Ditra or whatever. And then I use my trowels to finish. I'm not a full-on tile guy, but I do a lot of tile. I'm just handier with those. I use them almost every day in sheetrock as well. So the other tip I've got here for your tile supplies is, I don't know what all brands you get, but Brutus makes these on Amazon. I'm sure there's a bunch of others. Get some U-shaped tile spacers. These things will change your life when you're setting tile. So nice for removing, for setting them into corners and everything. Just fantastic stuff. And about the only spacers I buy at Lowe's are these little wedge spacers, 1/8" wedges. Since almost everything I space is set on a 1/16 or an 1/8, I get 1/8" wedges, and they work for most everything. That way you can, especially on mosaics and stuff, you can kind of space things out just like you want. Back here I've got my DeWalt tile saw. I've had this several years. I did a review on it quite a time back. I don't know, a really short little video. That is a fantastic saw. I'm running it here without any of the guards and stuff on it because we're just working in a 2-car garage here. We can go right in and out of the house over here. We just open the door to stay nice and cool. And running, of course, my Festool MX 1200, I believe it is. Yeah, MX 1200 to mix all my thin sets. Run a Festool PDC drill to mix all my grout and all that. If you're using a lot of Schluter, then you probably use a lot of Schluter profiles. And you know what I'm talking about. Let's see, got some right here. This is the Schluter Sheen, I believe, where you have a little metal edging for everything. They make a lot of different styles of this. But the best tool I've found for cutting that has been my little Milwaukee bandsaw. And this, it's loud, but it is a great little tool. It cuts nice and slow, or you can turn it up obviously, but if you turn it down nice and slow, it's still so much faster than a hacksaw, so much more accurate, just does a beautiful job, and you can get through something really quickly with it. Has a nice LED light on it, and I don't think that was very expensive, around a couple $100 maybe, not a big deal, but a great little addition to your tile tools if you use a lot of profiles. And lately, I really guide my customers away from bullnose because so many tile profiles are not available with a bullnose, or there's so many issues with supply right now, especially, that if you can get your customers to use, you know, profiles, things like that, you can get a lot more done than you could otherwise. But this is kind of my little tile setup here. On this desk they had in here, we've got one entire shower here with this gray tile and some glass for mosaic. This is the other shower tub surround that we just wrapped up. It is a 4x16 subway. This one is a 3x10, I believe, subway. But just a lot of subway tile these days. But we got one done. We're starting on the next one. We got a backsplash. We got a tub surround done so far. Today we're doing some demo, And I used my demo hammers here, which I don't think I've mentioned in any videos, but this is the demo hammers I use. Bosch Bulldog here with a little scraper blade on it. And then of course, the big one, go ahead and pop this. And this is the Bosch hammer. What number it is, I'm not sure. 11264 EVS. This one right here with a large scraper blade will clean up some thin set really quick. But for the most part, aside from things that are right under the camera here, which are my buckets of spacers, I bought a bunch of the Craftsman stack boxes so they all nest together nicely. Each one has different sets of tile tools, from one that's just racks of trowels to one that's just, I use a lot of the spin doctors for my leveling system for these large 12x24s that we're setting today. And I like to keep all my red toppers in one for that system, and then a whole case or 5-gallon bucket with a lid of nothing but the actual spacers that get broken off. So I stock enough of them that I am way ahead on supply for that. So I probably won't need tile spacers for, 6 months to a year. So hopefully by then this Corona thing is kind of blowing over, but we'll see on that. But this is basically what it takes to do tile, and I do a lot of it. I did pick up a green laser this week, but before that I just used a Bosch red cross-line laser. Need one that has locking on it so that you can tilt it down, get a grid on the floor, whether you're doing a diamond pattern or whatever. It gives you a lot better lines for that. But that's basically what it takes to do this, and the tools that I've chosen for this. This is the first Milwaukee tool I actually bought right here. I bought it because we had to put the finishings on a shower, and it had some long tubes for the manifold covers, and they had to be cut down. They just made them huge so that you could cut them to whatever thickness your tile ended up. And man, I bet 15-20 minutes each with a hacksaw. I gave up halfway through the first one, said, you know what, life's too short, I'm buying a tool for this. And I went and bought this, and then after that, of course, I noticed that cutting the Schluter profiles, that makes it just so easy. You can do anything with one with that. But they do make a stand for these, an independent company does, and I'll probably get that eventually. It would be really nice to have that held. But right now, I just have either a helper or me. You can just set it right like this and cut, and it works just fine. So anyway, that's my basic tile setup, and what I'm doing with this, we do, I don't know, probably do tile at least 4 or 5 days a month, I would say, in this business. And it is one of the more profitable things you can do as a contractor that I've seen. At least for some reason in my area, it is the one thing that when you bid on it, people's budget is a whole lot more open on this than anything else, especially as compared to woodworking things and other items. Because for some reason, people think tile is just way beyond their abilities. So I used to be one of those people too, and I got into doing it on my rentals, and I did a lot of bathrooms and stuff. And I went, I can do it for other people now too. So a lot of practice before you do somebody else's. I've seen some real disasters out there. But get some places you can practice, learn how to do this, and it is a great thing to add to your abilities, as well as for what, maybe a couple $1,000 in tools, you can get a good start into this. I do highly recommend a nice tile saw though. And this one right here has been fantastic for me. It's done thousands of square feet of tile in the last several years that I've owned it, and no problems whatsoever. The only trick with it is run from a clean bucket of water there on the side, let it flush through, and let it run into your wastewater right here on the side. Because if you recirculate, as that pump's designed to do in the bed of the saw, then it will suck stuff through the impeller of that pump, and within 2 or 3 jobs, I was already having times I couldn't get my pump to prime, and I'd have to pat the bottom and push the water in. Stopped doing that, flushed it out good, and went to running it with only clean water. Massive difference. No more problems priming, fires right off, goes. And I do keep a spare pump because you never know if you get one to quit while you're out on a tile job is a big problem. Also, the blades I'm running, the Waltz I don't seem to get much mileage out of, but I'm running these Pearl P4 is what it's in there, and they are a great blade, especially if you dress them about once a day or so, just to keep them kind of sharp, keep the debris out from these glossy porcelain tiles that build up in the teeth. Sometimes you can even just use like a red brick and dress it a little bit with that, and you're good. It'll go back to cutting properly again. But fantastic saw, fantastic mixer over there. It's really not that expensive of a tool from Festool. It may be a little more than some others, but there's a video on my channel here reviewing that and showing it operating. That is a fantastic mixer. I don't even know how much I've mixed with that thing, but it's great. Before that, I just mixed even my thin set with my PDC drill from Festool, and that shouldn't be done, but it does work. The thing has a lot of power. But that is no comparison. You can mix beautifully all the time. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Hopefully there's something in this that can help some of you guys that are maybe starting out, maybe considering tile as an extra thing to add on. Just be sure you know what you're doing. Attend a few classes on this stuff. Maybe pick up a little bit of time with somebody who's done some of it. I have a lot of helpers that work with me, and they get a little bit of experience that way, and they get paid for their experience, and then they can go on and do what they'd like to do. But anyway, that's just a few tips from me. Hopefully something's useful. Thank y'all, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below if you have a tool that you think really changes your life with tile. Any recommendations? I'm always up for learning. I'll take any constructive tips that I can get. But thank you guys. We'll see y'all in the next one.